report based on some certain areas that HR people needs to sit and based on their staff engagement and the communication. And based on that topic, we will have some small team discussions, and there will be a summary of team discussions, and we will wrap up the session. Basically, it will take probably 1 hour to 1 hour and 30 minutes. Well, if we can run down the topics we are going to discuss, that is basically top methods HR would put in place to get employee engagement. We have the market survey in here, and you can see that there's a certain percentage of areas that employees are engaged with. Like if we get the HR should focus on to engage the employees they are working with, and you can see that offer professional development and opportunities, carve out career paths, that came up at 11%, and provide employees with flexibility, that is 10%, empower employees, that is 13%, and share the organization vision and goals, 13%, and make the company expectations clear, 12%. What basically we do for the employees, we generally put them on aligning with the company objectives, saying that these are the company policies, these are the things you need to do while you are working with the company. And the policies are basically make up to align all the employees to go with the objectives of the company. So we actually gave that employees are given due flexibility under the guidance of the policy. We gave that we empower the employees working at the same time with the just with the company policy, and also the company's vision and mission. That's where the employees are connected with. Most of the cases, what we have seen that the company's mission and vision are not aligned and not being clear to the employees, so that they're only working what the department heads and what the company actually wants them to do. So that's where I think the employee engagement needs to be cleared with the company's vision and goals, and that make the company expectations clear. So these are the areas that we have found out throughout the research conducted. And also, to engage more of the employees, we need to provide regular feedback, train the managers in employee engagement for the best practices, and survey employees about motivators. We generally do that employee satisfaction survey, that how we conduct the how employees are dealing with the company's need and want, and also evaluate the work process and address inefficiencies, improve onboarding process. I think so many companies are working on that onboarding process so that the employee can get along with the company's objectives and needs throughout that process. And also, whenever any employee leaves, use that process of exit interviews. If you can run down the approaches that HR people can adopt to communicate better with employees, to boost morale and confidence, what we are really facing at such ages, that is to retain the best talents. Many competitors are emerging in the market, and the most positions are creating. Whenever the people are, get themselves used to have such kind of skills and experiences they require, they tend to move on. So what company can do, like what HR people can do to communicate better with employees, to boost morale and confidence of the existing employees, to recognize employee achievements, rewarding things, honest and sincere and clear recognition, improve communication with empathy during in need, be direct about employees, everyone's responsibilities and roles, and exchange ideas. Because those are the certain areas, growth areas. 29%, you can see the percentage, 29, 18, and 16. If you can look up the maroon colored area, that is 29%, what basically the company sometimes fails to recognize employee objectives, employee achievements, to praise them, to compliment them with due time and with due appreciation. So that is basically HR can work with to communicate better with the employees to boost their morale. And if you can run down our next survey things to support business and organization objectives that aligned with employees' need. That is, we can see the most percentage came up from enablement focus employee engagement initiatives, and the least percentage we have seen an employee-led teaching programs and provision of coaching. Well, there is certain areas that HR can build up and come up with the employees retention things so that the company will be the ultimate beneficial subjects in here, like the recognizing employees behavior, thank you cards, recognition events. That's a small things that an employee can get, be employee can be motivated. And also bringing company values to life. I mean, so many companies are posting their visions and missions and values that is sometimes in certain cases not being clear to the employees. If the HR people can make the employees clear that these are the company needs and objectives in certain given time, so the employee can make themselves clear and they can run towards the company objectives at the same time. So employee-led teaching programs and also the provision of coaching. So these are the certain areas where HR people can focus with. And also there is some other engagement programs, employee-led teaching programs, online leader communication channel, and stay interviews, so that we can carve out some certain areas that we need to work with. Well, we have certain topics disseminated where we can discuss throughout the team, like how different was the communication during this period, and was there any major shift in the modes of communication adopted? Were there any instance of providing professional development opportunity and assistance to the staff to select alternate career paths? Can you elaborate? Communication with empathy, an instance where this failed and as an HR professional you had to step in to manage. Number four, with the same set of deliverables, what were the noticeable major changes in the roles and responsibilities, and why were those essential? Number five, can you discuss the top engagement initiative that was adopted during this time and why was so successful? And number six is referring back to the organization values was key during this time. However, was it particularly difficult to adhere to any one value and why? So basically, these are the team discussions. I would let's see how many we have joined today. Uh, Ms. Rita, shall we make up the teams in a breakout room? What do you think? Right now, we have 12 persons altogether. We have in here. You are, yeah, I think you are. Rita.
We have
We can make two
four,
teams.
seven. Two teams, but what are the questions? You have to make it very clear.
I would request, like, if we break out for two teams, then first team can take number one, two, three, and the second teams can take four,
So
five,
many
six.
questions. So many questions.
Yeah,
Wow. One, two, three, four, five, six.
yeah.
Wow. Each team takes three questions.
I think first team can take from questions one, two, three.
Okay, okay. So you will take care of first team or the second team?
I would kindly take the first team.
You will take the first team.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'll move you to room one, and I'll move him to room two. Okay. Oops. Now we have six people only because of the connection.
Yeah, the
Ooh.
connection really.
Maybe why don't we have an open discussion? Because I think the
Yeah.
connection will be lost from time to time. Why instead of having the breakout sessions, I suggest that we have an open discussion on all these questions. If
Okay.
not, maybe we can pick four so that we have more in-depth discussion on four or five questions. You pick the questions and then you want everybody to give their view. I think it's also good.
I'm also taking the notes anyway, so it will be easier for us. Okay.
Because the
Right.
connection lost very easily. So I think it's better that we do it in the maybe in the main room, if you don't mind.
I
Okay.
think I think this would be okay. Six people can
Yeah.
share
Then
the whole
we
topic.
can
Yeah.
copy the questions to the chat box so that they can still see the questions when we are discussing it. Okay.
Uh, we have how many members? We have six.
Now we have one, two, three, four, five, excluding you and me.
So I
Yeah,
think, do we need to break out the rooms, or we can
we
discuss
just have
common?
open discussion on this question because I just discovered that we can lose them from time to time because of the connection. So
Yeah,
why don't we invite them to speak
I think.
in
Okay.
the meeting room and you
Right.
can put on some of the notes, okay? So you just let us know which question we go first. And do you want to copy these questions in the chat box so that you can close the share button, the document sharing button? We can see each other more.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you just copy the question in the chat box so that the people can see it.
All
And
right.
then just follow your recommendation on which question that we are going to discuss. I think it's good. And before we start the discussion, maybe we should invite them to introduce themselves.
Yeah, I
Because
guess. Yeah.
yeah, most of them are new to me, except Mr. Kayong. And now we lose another person. So that's why I think it's better that we stay in the main room.
Yeah. Okay. I would request Mr. Kayum. Kayum bhai, could you please just introduce yourself so that everybody can know about you?
Mr. Rashid.
Zakir bhai, could you please allow me for a while because I'm just traveling?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you properly. I'm sorry, Kayum bhai, could you please just say it again?
Basically, I'm on the road to my home.
Oh,
So could you please
okay.
allow me for at least 10 minutes?
Okay. Okay.
I'm
Sure.
listening. Okay, I will join after 10 minutes.
No problem. No problem. I think we have Mr. Rashidul. Rashidul bhai, hi. Good evening.
Mr. Rashida, welcome. Nice to see you. Yeah,
Hi, Rita. Good evening.
good
I
evening. Nice to
I
see you.
I'm also same as Mr. Kayum. I'm also traveling.
Okay.
I'm on the way to home.
I
All right.
see. I see.
How
Okay.
long do you guess that you can join us in fresh tone, like no noisy thing? So how long do you think that it will take? 10, 15 minutes, bhai?
Hello. Sound is very low.
Yeah, Rashid bhai.
Yeah, Zakir
Yeah,
bhai.
yeah. Rashid bhai, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm fine. You?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for asking, Rashid bhai. It's great to play. I mean, it's great to meet you. How long do you think it may take for you to join? Because you are in a very noisy session.
জাকের ভাই মানে আমি সাউন্ডটা আসলে খুব লো পাচ্ছি হ্যাঁ আই এম গেটিং ভেরি লো সাউন্ড
Okay,
জাস্ট 1 মিনিট হ্যাঁ
okay, okay, okay.
The other people to introduce themselves first.
Yeah, I think.
হ্যালো জাকের ভাই জি কাইন্ডলি ক্যান ইউ রিপিট
Yeah, Rashid bhai. Yeah, I was I was thinking that. Rashid bhai, can you hear me?
ইয়া নাও হিয়ার
All right. Okay. I mean, the place you're currently in. I mean, I think it's very noisy.
হ্যালো
Yeah, Rashid bhai, the place you are currently in, it's very noisy, I think.
ইয়া রাইট রাইট
Yeah, yeah.
50% রাখেন হ্যালো
Yeah, Rashid bhai, yeah. Could you just introduce yourself so that other people can know?
Right. Thank you, Zakir bhai. Just I'm introducing myself. This is Rashidul Hasna. I am presently working in Perfetti Venmele Bangladesh Limited, which product is actually Alpenlibe, Chupa Chup, Central Fruit and Mentos. And currently I am working as a deputy HR manager, especially in factory HR. And almost 11 years I am working in HR. Before joining here, I was in Transcom Beverages Limited. 7 years I was in Transcom Beverage, which is PepsiCo Bangladesh, Pepsi 7 Up.
Okay.
And earlier I was in Nikki Thai Aluminium and United Hospital Limited. All over my career in human resource management. And I'm also president of Bangladesh FMCG HR Society. And uh, hope already here I think participant Rita Rita is very
Familiar to you, I think.
much
Yeah.
familiar to me. And at present, I think introducing Mr. Anisudullah, Atul Saxena, yeah, and Jakir Bhai. Jakir Bhai also, this is first time, but I heard your name.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
So nice
thanks,
to meet
that's all from my side. And we are really very much interested to work with AsiaHRM. And for any kinds of support from Bangladesh, we are ready to give.
Thank
Especially
you.
last year, we also worked together. Especially from Bangladesh FMCG HR Society, Kayum Bhai and Tafsir Bhai and me. We are always with AsiaHRM and our full team with them. Thanks,
Very
thanks
good.
from my side.
Very good. Very good. It's so nice to hear. Ishad bhai, it's a great pleasure to work with you guys. And how about Tafsir bhai? Is he joining or probably I think he's
I
busy.
just might call him, but didn't pick my phone.
Okay. Okay. No issue. I think Mr. Anis, would you please introduce yourself so that we can know each other better?
Thank you very much, Jakar Bhai. I'm Anisudullah. Presently, I'm working in a private university as a head of HR.
Okay. Okay. Great. So I think it's
Bhai,
great to
just 1 minute. I know very well Anis Bhai. This
All right.
Anis Bhai is those Anis Bhai. I don't recall. Anis Bhai, Major Anis Bhai. He is very much known to me.
All right. All right.
It's
Okay.
great
Okay.
pleasure to get Anis Bhai here.
Okay. Anis bhai, it's a great pleasure to meet you here, and
Thank you,
hopefully we will be have a
thank you,
long-term
Zakir Bhai, and
relationship
thank
between
you,
us.
Rita.
Okay, right. I think the question I have already just posted in the chat box. Could you just have a look? The question was how different was the communication during this period, and was there any major shift in the modes of communication adopted? I mean, any sort of discussions you want to put ahead, please? Uh, Dearest member, yeah.
Zakir Bhai, are you meaning the communication means reaching to the destination or the communication among the participants, among the staffs and the mm, communication in the members of the organization?
Okay. So basically, what we do regarding our employees, I mean, the employees who are working with, the communication we do from HR department is that very clear to them regarding the company objectives, what company is really looking for them to comply with, and also how they come up with their performances, and also the expectation we expect from them. So how frequent and how clear the communication we do from the HR department towards our employees, being the representative of the management. And what do you think? How different was the communication during this period? I mean, let's say if it's a COVID period, and during that COVID period, how different was the communication towards your employees? And was there any major shift in the modes of communication adopted? Because we might know that the new normal, we are saying this concept, the new normal, the communication have changed. The new concept have arrived, like work from home, that we aren't really familiar with. So what do you think? How different was the communication during this period?
To my understanding, at this present, during the corona situation, what we had been doing, that some people were permitted to work from home for certain period of time, and mostly as because it is a private university, so the students and teachers, they are working remotely. We have university management system software. So what did you do? We have given access to the faculty members and also to the students. Like all the teachers, they were given one their what should I say, sort of online classroom. So in that classroom, the teacher is getting in and the students are joining. All are done through the software management, like particularly maybe a MBA class or BBA class or maybe even a practical class. So what they do, the teacher, they give the email or some sort of notification to everybody's email, and they log in from their home or from anywhere. And by then, the virtually the class was going on. This was the class perspective, and for the student, for the others like the members, other employees, for them also we had been doing the same sort of arrangement. Like we used to do the Zoom meeting, and we had been sending the requirement over phone. Like if I need a draft of a letter, I'm talking to someone through WhatsApp or through the Zoom, and I'm asking them that what is my requirement, and understanding the requirement. My colleague, he is sending me the draft. I'm receiving it or I'm editing it, and then I'm also finalizing it or sending it to the desired person. Actually, the communication perspective has changed in this Corona period, and mostly we're trying to manage ourselves through the different media like Zoom, like WhatsApp, like email, like university management software system, etc. If you have any question.
Okay, thank you. Kayum Bhai and Rashid Bhai, something have to say on this topic? Or, I mean, I'll go to another question.
Basically, Zakir, right, the point is the communication has already been changed during this COVID or pandemic situation because of the Bangladesh people, they are not used to work with like work from home. So we the people were like to work from the very specific place, which is the working place. So that was like we all are very used to work with. So when the pandemic was actually came, so on that moment that was difficult to gather. So on that time we had to manage with like Zoom or something else, which was Anis bhai already been explained. So my topic or my point is that the communication between employees and the communication between other people that has been changed very dramatically because of before 2020 that was not so familiar like the Zoom, like the Google Meet or like Team, that everything was not that kind of so familiar to the people. But now we are doing meeting, we are doing like virtual classes, we are doing communication through the that kind of every kind of video call or video conferencing. And even I would say the mood of HR has been also transferred, and also the recruitment process also has been transferred. Earlier that was like face-to-face interview. Right now what we are doing video call, video conferencing, and we are taking all this interview process to joining formalities through online or to the support of internet. So I would say definitely the communication that has been changed. And one more thing that was been explained by you, asking by you, that is, whereas we are actually truly communicating the true purpose of the organization or the management to the employee, whether we are doing or not. So my point is sometimes, yeah, we are actually communicating to the people as a like spokesperson of the management, or maybe we are talking to the people through the values, through the mission, vision, and the cultures of the organization. But sometimes we are the people, we are failing with the HR who are working for the organization are failing to convey the true message of the, what should I say, the management, true message of the organization or true core values of the culture of the organization to the employees. And that is making sometimes disturbance to the organization. So that is my point.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your nice words, Kayum Bhai. I would like to request to have a discussion on that number two question that is being just posted. Were there any instance of providing professional development opportunity and assistance to the staff to select alternate career paths? Can you elaborate? It's basically saying on career coaching. I would say the career counseling we do sometimes the people who are not finding any paths, where should they go? Like, okay, probably they might demotivated regarding the company expectations and regarding inspector their, I mean, their performance. So, in there is was there any such instances that came up into your career that you have just faced any instances that counseling any of your colleagues regarding selecting alternating career paths? I mean, would you like to please elaborate?
Excuse me, Jakar Bhai, may I request you one thing?
Yeah, please.
Uh, Actually, regarding the communication among the employees and among the within the organization, the first point that we had been discussing,
Yeah.
may we kindly get some remarks or some discussion from Ms. Rita on the
Yeah.
first point? Then we want to hear listen to her opinion about the second one. Then then we can go to the next discussion.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Miss Rita, could you please have your points on the first topic?
Okay. The first one was how different was the communication during this period, and was there any major shift in the modes of communication adopted, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay. So for me, communicate I think this is on the okay, communication, okay. During the pandemic, communication is actually staff communication is always important in no matter it's in good time or bad times, okay, no matter whether we are in pandemic situation or whether we are in a good time, meaning that there's we are not affected by any pandemic or epidemic and so forth. So for us, staff communication is always important, and as a management we always have to keep close communication with the staff, especially about the company's financial situation, the business direction, and so forth and so forth. And while we are now having the pandemic, the communication will make a lot of difference, especially when we are able to give them prompt and sincere communication. I think in the survey, we also mentioned that one of the effective communication is to give honest and sincere communication to employees. Besides that, we also need to give prompt communication. Say, for example, now we are in pandemic. Giving staffs a sense of security is very important. How do we do that? We need to take care. We need to tell them that, okay, what's the company situation in terms of the business and what is the market situation. As long as we can keep them well informed, and also let the staff know that what the company is going to do next while we are having a difficult situation. The staff will really appreciate that. So with that kind of communication, I think the staff will still be engaged, even in times of pandemic. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that staff communication is always important, no matter in good times or bad times, especially in times of pandemic, while everybody is worrying about their job, whether they can still keep the job. As we all know that giving the staff's sense of security, of safety is of paramount important, because so we all, if we really want to engage our staff, first thing first is to give them a sense of security. How do we do that? Having a close communication, and the communication needs to be sincere, prompt, and
Ms. Rita, may I
okay?
discuss?
Yeah,
May
sure.
one thing, the thing I was pointing out that we had been keeping the communication with our employees through over phone, over cell phone,
Yeah.
over WhatsApp, over video call like Zoom, like WhatsApp video call, over email. Do you appreciate that we are in the right way? We are doing right?
It depends on the company situation. Like I think the way that you communicate in Hong Kong could be different in Bangladesh. It depends on the most preferred way, effective way of communicating to your employees. Say, for example, I take the one in Hong Kong, also in China. Our most effective way of communicating to employees is through WeChat. Okay.
Chat.
Yeah, WeChat. Because in China we use WeChat. Because I work for a boss who is from mainland China, and most of our business, 80% of this business are from China. That's why every day we use WeChat to communicate with the employees in China. We use Zoom for meetings. So I think we use social media for communication. And it comes
Okay.
to emails, it's not that effective. Why not? Because most of the employees may not read their emails. But when it comes to WeChat, they will respond very quickly. So for me, it's difficult for me to tell you which mode of communication is most effective. It depends on your company practice. It depends on the country's available social media and so forth. But I can tell you that I think you have been in that company for some time, right? You should know what is the most effective way of communicating to your employees. You should know it and adopt the most effective one, okay? So let me come to the second part of this question, major shift in the modes of communication adopted. I think what we are trying to say is working from home, right? Because before the pandemic, I believe that most of people will work in the office. But with the pandemic, I think most of the people will work from home. Since they work from home, will there be any shift in the mode of communication? I think definitely we might use social media more like WeChat, WhatsApp more, and even Zoom, right? Because in the past, companies may not use a lot of Zoom, but nowadays they use Zoom or other type of video conferencing tools for them to communicate with them. So definitely there is a major shift in it. Say for example, let me take my company's example. We use a lot of Zoom because now we don't encourage any face-to-face discussion. Even now in Hong Kong, we are in a critical situation. The civil servants work from home. So if they really want to have meetings, they cannot have physical meetings. What they can do is to have the video conferencing, right? So Zoom seems to be one of the tools or video conferencing system that are adopted by a lot of companies in the world. So that would definitely be shift because of no more physical meetings at this point in time. And so there'll be a lot of online sessions like what we are doing now. And so it again depends on the company, the country and the companies before I can give you more information about the major shift. But I can see that Zoom has been used by a lot of companies and countries because it's online. We need to rely on a lot of online communications. Okay, I'm not sure if I've given you enough answer, but this is somehow what I can tell from my personal experience and also from the sharing that I've heard from different countries, from the HR professional of different countries. Okay.
Thank you very much. Jakar Bhai, may I raise one more issue?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
I wanted to tell that the employees who all are able to work from their computer or from their cell phone or somehow through Zoom or WeChat or WhatsApp, that's a different class. Like if we are working in a fact company, they have some production, they have some um, group of people, they have to produce some item like FMGC. Then in that case, how you suggest us to maintain the communication with the physical laborers, those who have to do work physically? Um, uh, I think we may highlight that aspect also.
You mean the workers, right? In a production, in a factory, right?
Right.
Okay. Can I get the views from other participants? If they also have the same situation, what is the most preferred way of communication with the workers?
Like Hasnat Bhai was telling just little time before that he is looking after the factory. So hopefully they have some employees they have to work physically. So how to maintain communication with them and
Okay.
uh,
Let me share with you in China, okay? Because I
employees,
come.
how to manage the employees physically in this situation.
Okay. So let
Right,
me.
Anis bhai, Rita, may I share?
Yeah, sure,
Please.
sure. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. Yeah, Anis bhai rightly said. Actually, when pandemic started last March 2020, we all management staff, maximum, just 1 minute.
But Mr. Anders, I just want to know if your workers also have mobile phones. Mr. Anders,
Yeah, exactly. Are you talking?
phones? Do your workers have mobile phones?
Yeah, exactly. They have.
Okay, so what kind of social media do they use on their phone? WhatsApp? Do they WhatsApp
Um,
very often?
Sometimes they use the what should I say, the social media, or most of them may not, because for buying the data they have to pay.
Ah,
So most of the employees, my knowledge goes, they use the just normal cell phone for the voice talk.
oh, I see, I see. That is a bit different from China because we also have factories in China and we
Yeah.
usually use WeChat. When we send out we create a group with all the employees of that company. And then wherever we have any announcement or messages that we want to send to the workers or to everybody in the company, we send it via WeChat. Because even the
Well,
workers, they have the mobile phone and they have
yeah.
access to WeChat. So WeChat seems to the most effective communication tool that
Exactly.
the company use. But in
And
Bangladesh, I
and
don't
what
really know the situation. That's why we need to get the input from other participants. Since they work in Bangladesh, they must come across with the same situation. Let them give you some advice so that you can consider and then use it when you're back to your company. So, Mr.
well,
Rashida, are you ready? Are you available to share now, Mr. Rashida?
Ms. Rita, then out of this small discussion, we
Yes.
may form up an idea that we should train our physical laborers also to use the social media like WeChat or WhatsApp or emo,
Yeah,
so
it
that the
depends on, yeah.
one is available.
Sorry,
Welcome back, Mr.
sorry,
Rush.
I am connected from my cell phone and call. Uh, one important call was coming. Hello,
Yeah, yeah, we are
can you
listening.
hear me?
Yeah, we
Rashid,
can. Go ahead.
Yeah,
uh,
Rashidul bhai, we are hearing.
Okay, okay. Sorry for interruption. I was sharing that during started COVID-19, as I am working in factory HR, our management staff who are working in executive manager level, they went from work from home maximum that time. And after few days, we went in a rostered duty, 3 days in work from home and 3 days we went to factory until it's continuing. But for the worker, from the beginning of the pandemic situation, they are daily coming in the factory, and maximum we communicate with them over phone, mobile phone, cell phone, and our production was running 24 hours. Just only 2 to 3 days or some few weekly holiday or others holiday, and sometimes we keep our production off. Only that day they wouldn't come factory. Otherwise, in every day, as per their duty, they would come to our factory. And another issue, the maximum worker, maximum employee in worker level, they living besides the factory, and they are from walking distance, and they would come to factory regularly. But one difficulties we face, maximum landowner, homeowner, our maximum people, they live in a rent a house. So maximum homeowner wouldn't accept to go factory during this time. And we actually communicated with community leader, community people, even homeowner, and requested them that we are maintaining safety, security, hygiene, everything. Please allow them. Otherwise, we would not able to run our industry. So finally, we able to manage them. And after 2-3 months, it's quite normalized, and now it's going on as the regular way and in a normal way.
Rashid bhai.
Yeah, Anis bhai.
Rashid bhai, I really appreciate your effort. I really appreciate because the way you had been reaching to the community leader and the homeowners, that they allow the employees to work in the factory. This is really a commendable job from your side, from your company officers. This is really good. We appreciate. This is an idea that we can reach up to them, and then we can motivate the employees and their should I say, their community people, to allow them to work.
Right. That time it was very much challenging.
Yeah, actually, if they don't work, they don't get the salary to run themselves, isn't it?
Right.
And
Right,
the whole
right.
economy gets shattered. And it happened during March, April, May, the initial stage of the pandemic. And now we are realizing, and we are balancing between work and safety security. And thank you very much for bringing this idea. Thank you, Rashid bhai.
Thanks.
Okay, so Mr. Jacka, can you move on?
Yeah, it was very constructive and very nice discussions we were having between our honorable members. Okay, with all perspectives taken into consideration, then we can move on to the second topic, that were there any instances that I was discussing actually, of providing professional development opportunity and assistance to the staff to select alternate career paths. Can you elaborate? Well, for example, during that COVID period, we had faced so many different sort of hindrances that came up from our professional life and the family life too, because we have been just working from home since long, and sometimes the stress, sometimes the hindrances come along in our way. We face, okay, we should take some time off. So in such cases, from HR department or being the head of the department, what sort of career counseling, I mean, you had to come up with the staffs, they were facing some sort of professional development opportunity or some selecting some alternate career paths. Could you just explain your experiences on that? Thank you. Yeah.
Is it in company or just known person, colleagues, and some known person from other industry? or
Any
only for
any
the own company?
any experiences you had, so that we can also enrich ourselves, the sort of experiences you had, and sharing that experiences would really help us to learn the
Okay.
experiences you have. Yeah.
Okay, actually, really, as we are running in society, especially Kayum Bhai, me, Tafsir Bhai, we did this. Actually, lot of people make us call, and they seek suggestion about their career. Especially if I say about Kayum Bhai, I would like to say that Kayum Bhai can share some experience, especially student who completed their graduation. They took some counseling from Kayum Bhai, and who are in job, they are also took suggestion from us. And if I share some experience, some people, especially who are losing their job, their industry is going to shut down, and they are losing their job. They call us, and what will be their planning, and get manage another job, and such kinds lot of experience we have. Few people also requested that in this pandemic situation, what should be their career development planning, and what should be they can utilize their time in this time, as they are work from home, and who already lost their job, and how they can improve their knowledge skill to get a job. Uh, so as a career counselor, we make and we suggested them different kinds of suggestion and different kinds of guideline as per their quality qualification. Who are fresh graduate, giving them some suggestion, and which is the actually difference, who are in job market and who has a experience. Even some 10 years 15 years experience people also faces this kinds of problem, who are going to lost their job. uh, that was also, yeah. uh, I will also share some experience, and just want to know about few from others. Kaim bhai, Anis bhai, if you share kindly.
Yeah. Anis bhai, kindly please. I think Anis bhai probably is busy. Kayum bhai, you want to share something regarding any counts? I mean, any counts. I mean, any career counseling opportunities you had?
Okay, so thank you, Jakir Bhai. Basically, the for me, HR is actually a career advisor. HR is a adult babysitter. For me, HR is a psychotherapist, and for me, HR is a friend. HR is the mother of an organization. So definitely, we the people who are actually providing the career advice to the people who are working with us in our organization, and definitely the people who are not actually performing well, we should be the people that who will help them to show them the true career path or the right career path where they should have or they should be. And another thing that is, if it is outside of the company, then absolutely we are the person that we should definitely give the right career planning and the career advice to the people who are actually suffering for their career due to the pandemic, or maybe just not only for the pandemic, they are suffering for their career. And even for the freshers who just have been graduated from the university and planning to just come to that corporate world. So yes, we are the person because of we are recruiting people, we are developing people, we are nurturing the people in the organization. So we definitely should train up our people so that we can get the right people on the right place, or maybe right person on the right bus. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Kayum bhai. It was so nice explanation from you. Yes, you are absolutely right, because HR plays such a vital and pivotal role towards the organization as well as with employees. Being an advisor, being a friend and a breeze and a mother, also and a babysitter to the employees during their hard time, during their harsh time, and also during their good time, they can show an employee a good career path. Yeah, rightly said. Thank you. Yeah, we might want to go for our next topic because our time is ticking. We have already crossed 1 hour time. Well, I would like to discuss on the topic like on the communication with empathy. Any instance where this failed, and as an HR professional, you had to step in to manage. If we want to elaborate this thing, well, I mean, during our HR career, we had to face certain instances where we failed making the communication with empathy. Well, some sort of employees made up their mind, being some grievance areas, like on terms of getting someone promoted before him or her, or the salary they were expecting during the incremental promotion, they didn't get it. Well, this sort of grievances may arise. So, being an HR professional, what empathy we have showed during the communication we made to them, and these were actually failed, and where, I mean, being the HR, where did you really get into? I mean, step into during this process? Yeah. Kayum Bhai or Rashid Bhai or Anis Bhai, you'd like to share your experiences in short. Thank you.
Okay, Jakir bhai. So I'm just going to share my thoughts. So basically, the empathy is a more important component from the emotional intelligence. So to be an emotionally intelligent people, you should have that special component that is called empathy. And for me, empathy is actually putting my leg on other shoes. That to feel that how much pain he is actually, or how much suffering he is actually getting from that unfit or unsized actually shows. So sometimes what happened, we buy or we bought any new shows, and then after, if it is not actually right fit for me, then it actually hurts a bit or a bit more for the people. But when he actually talked with us that okay, I am feeling a very bad actually in my leg due to this shoes, we will not feel if we don't have the same pain or if we didn't actually suffer the same. So for me, that every people, this is just not only for the HR, this is just not only for any specific people, for every person, they should have, they definitely had to have the empathy on his or her own to feel the other person that how he or she is communicating, what she is actually or the he is facing, or what he or she is feeling. So if we don't show up our empathy, then we will definitely will not understand the pain, what he or she is actually feeling or suffering, or maybe what she is or he is going on with that pain. So empathy is the most important component for our personal or even professional life. So that's the point from my side.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kayum Bhai. It was very nice explanation from you. Anything you would like to share from Hasna, yeah, Rashid Bhai on this topic?
Yeah, Zakir bhai,
Yeah, yeah, Rashid
uh,
Bhai.
I just want to share a few things. Like during pandemic, actually, some symptoms, which is sneezing, fever, which is the COVID symptom.
Yeah,
When our employee would face such kinds of symptom, actually we would give them leave, which actually we wouldn't cut their leave from their personal leave or any other leave. Just company would give them this. And few others also think that when some employee get would require any treatment or any kinds of support from company would give them example, give them transport facility to reach them medical, to reach them doctor, or doctor facility over phone, or sometimes when few employee would get when some employee would face difficulties, long-term sickness, example 2 month need bed rest, we would give them, we would allow them total leave with pay. And in workplace, who worked continuously and giving their effort, best effort, we recognize them with some letter, appreciation letter, that you are doing fantastic, you are doing excellent for the company. Just we would take such kinds of initiative also.
Thank you very much, Rashid Bhai. It was wonderful job you have done so far for your company. And also, it has been an example, I would say, that may set for other company, because during pandemic, you have given, showed, and I mean, you have given and showed your true empathy towards the employees, whichever they need actually from the company. Yeah, it was wonderful and exemplary, I would say. Well, let me go down to the number 4 topic. With the same set of deliverables, what were the noticeable major changes
You
in
allow me,
role?
then I could add some points for this empathy.
Sorry, yeah, Kayum bhai.
Okay, so thank you. So for the empathy from the company part, then I would say, yeah, I would like to add with Rashid bhai that if someone is facing like, yeah, if he has gotten like COVID-19, he has been positive with the COVID-19, or maybe his family member like father or mother, or maybe the his wife or the husband has been actually comes up with a positive result with the COVID-19, then the basically the support from the organization, which would be like financially or maybe mentally or maybe like just only with some words, that would be the empathy from the organization. And then after, yeah, I would say if the organization come up with like just helping them with the financial benefits, like with the medical benefits, like with some other anything else, then the company will definitely support the company people who are working for that organization. They will definitely never leave that organization, and definitely will do work, I would say double or maybe will.
Jakir bhai, may I speak on it?
Yes, please, Anis bhai, please.
Jakir bhai, thank you very
Take the
much for.
ownership much more than the empathy. So that's my point.
Yeah, thank you, Kayum bhai. Yeah, Anis bhai, please carry on.
During this pandemic situation, what we have done, we have reduced the office hours. We have reduced it by 1 hour so that the people may come little uh, in a easy way, and they can leave the office also little early. So this is how we have reduced the office hours, and we have given leave to the people, those who are feeling little sick or feeling that they have headache or feverish or something. We have allowed them to check them if it is goes further, if it is a normal seasonal flu or it is going worse. So that's how we have given a lot of extra leave to the employees. This is one thing. Thereby, we have shown empathy to the employees. But one thing I pointed out that some of the employees they took chance over this situation. Like someone is going on leave for 1 or 2 days or not going, suddenly they are making a phone call to the office and saying that, yes, sir, I'm feeling feverish, I'm feeling headache, I'm feeling sick, and thereby they have taken, they are not attending the office for maybe 3 4 days, and maybe more than a week even. Some of the people, some of the employees have taken the chance, and actually we may discuss in this situation how we can determine or how what should be our course of action.
Okay, that was a very nice findings. Yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
And
we have
Miss
faced to. We have faced to
Rita
since
may
now
put on,
working. Yeah, Miss Rita, would
and
you
Miss
also share some of
uh,
your future experiences? I mean, taking
Mrs.
chances that would definitely
Obviously.
an unacceptable and unethical chances the employees
Yes,
tries
yes,
to get.
yes.
Okay.
I'll be expecting a comment from Miss Rita as because she is aware about Hong Kong and China. What is the situation there? Is it the same like us?
I think we also have some employees who are not disciplined. Therefore, I think it's first and foremost, we need to have rules and regulations in place, making sure that everybody is aware of it, especially when it comes to leave, right? Sick leave and so forth. There are always a situation whereby people will take advantage of it. So number one, we have to make sure that our company rules and regulations are clear. Everybody has to abide by it, okay? And secondly, when it does happen, we have to invest, we have to talk to the person. Say, for example, we have situations whereby people would use sick leave to get some extra holidays for themselves. So when the HR department has found it out, they need to maybe they should ask them for more for the for doctor certificate or even to ask the person to undertake a physical checkup, a medical examination, making sure that he's healthy or making sure what they claim to have that kind of illness is not fake, is authentic, is true, is really the case. So we also have this kind of check and balance in place inside the organization in order to avoid this kind of abuse made by the employees. Okay. So, and of course, if the employee just have done it intentionally and subsequently found out by the company, of course, the HR department has to give them a warning. I think this also help people repeating the same, doing it again, right? So that's why I think it's a commonplace, meaning that it happens in a lot of situations. But firstly, do we have rules and regulations in place? And then secondly, does the HR department pay attention to all kind of these things and then follow up with them closely so that they will not do it next time, even if they have done something wrong this time. And then thirdly, if they really have done something not in line with the company regulations, we need to give them a warning. Of course, the first time will be a verbal warning. After that, they will not do it again. At least it serve it will deter them, deter them from doing it again in the future. So I think we need to have these kind of things in place. And it happens in China, it happens in everywhere. But it's just a matter of how we deal with it. But first and foremost, we need to have the regulations and rules and regulations clearly in place so that at the staff will know that this is something that the company, these are the rules of the company. They cannot just abuse it. Yeah,
Okay, thank you. Yeah, everywhere.
yeah, everywhere.
It is
Yeah,
very true. Yeah, this thing happens everywhere.
yeah. Human
But
nature.
there is chance, yeah, but there is chance some intentions may occupy the thing that we may take some advantage over the regulations the company have.
Yeah.
Anyway, the topic number 4, I think that very relevant to the topic number 3 because I think the actual idea of that with the same set of deliverables because the role we are playing, what were noticeable and major changes in the roles and responsibilities and why were those essential? The empathy word that comes up in my mind. I think my fellow members also can make that sum up with that noticeable changes. I think Kayum Bhai, Rashid Bhai, and Anis Bhai, the same set of deliverables because the role we are playing and the empathy we have shown towards the employees during this pandemic period the number topic that topic number 4 actually explains that, don't you think?
Jakar bhai,
Yeah, Anis bhai, yes please.
uh, uh, please kindly you discuss the number 4 points because I'm not getting it that much. That
Okay,
actually you are trying to get out of it
all
because
right.
I'm not maybe I'm not familiar with the situation still.
All right. Okay. The topic number 4 is actually states the same set of deliverables. If I can explain this particular phrase, that same set of deliverables means, I mean, basically the roles we're playing at this moment, the same responsibilities we're playing before pandemic and after pandemic and during the pandemic, the same set of deliverables the company is expecting from us. What were the noticeable and major changes in the roles? Okay, before pandemic, it was representative of the management, by the management, for the management. Okay, on the other case, we actually work for the company as well as we also represent our employees towards the management. Well, that was three different aspects and three different periods we had. So number 4 topic, um, having having carried out the same set of responsibilities, the major changes in the roles were showing the empathy towards the employees during the pandemic period, if I can straight line the scenario for this topic in particular. And the responsibilities we showed, because just explained by Rashid Bhai and Kayum Bhai, the sort of um, uh, the emotional intelligence things and how much the HR should feel the other people, and also during the COVID period, whenever the symptoms being shown by the employees, because from company part, he has tried to give them that the leave they required for treatment, and company gave them the doctor service over phone. So those are the changes, because the deliverables were expected before the pandemic and during the pandemic were inevitably changed. The roles were changed because we became more humanoid towards our employees, and the responsibilities was also changed because it has increased a bit more extra, because the sort of responsibilities we used to play, and during pandemic the roles has also been changed. It was essential because retaining employees, because those were valued employees since we have working with them for so long time. So during their need, because the company was also suffering financially, and also there is a lack of direction, because of what worlds we're seeing we have never seen in our entire lifetime. So it was very essential to show our empathy towards the employees, to retain them, to getting them back to the work, and also engaging them towards the company, aligning with the objectives. So I think the number that topic is actually stating that the changes we had in regards to our role during this pandemic, and it was essential. That was actually that topic being stated. Yeah, Anis bhai. I think I made myself clear.
Yeah, thank you very much for making us clear and making us enlightened.
Okay, so we have just two more topics we have. The number 5, it was, can we discuss top engagement initiative that was adopted during this time and why was it so successful? I think some ideas in very short from Rashid Bhai, Kayum Bhai, or Anis Bhai. The initiative you have taken during this pandemic period that was can be regarded as a top engagement activity by towards your view. Thank you. Yeah, Rashid Bhai, you want to say something? Anis Bhai, you want to say something? The top engagement initiative we have taken during this time and how it was so successful for your organization. For example, we have arranged so many Zoom meetings, so many Google Meet meetings, and well, that may be regarded as a top engagement initiative based on some sort of official topic. Well, some people may have been working for so long time in front of laptop or their phones and taking the office from 9 to 5, and the major changes they might face, that their mental state, well, doing office in front of laptop and the same home environment where they used to spend their time with the family members, rather they're spending their time doing office in front of laptop in the camera. Well, doing the same sort of thing, it was might be stressful for them. So what are the other initiatives you have taken to make their employee motivated, to make them meetings and other deliverables to more fruitful? And why do you think that it might be successful? Any one or two topics or any one or two engagement activities that you have done?
For ourselves, Jakar bhai, sometimes we made Zoom cultural program.
Okay, that's pretty good.
The student and the faculty and others, we arrange cultural program through Zoom. Sometimes career program through Zoom. Sometimes debate program through Zoom. Then that's how we try to break the monotony, and also for the faculty, what we did, we gave them some flexibility to take the classes or to shift the classes if they find that it was not the students are not enough motivated, or students are not feeling well, or the number of students are not attending. So the teachers were a little flexible to adjust the time, and they had some other discussion other than the monotonous class discussion or the subject topic discussion. They also made some other discussion to break the monotony.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for the explanation and thank you for your nice discussions and descriptions that were the top engagement activities. And it was definitely very, inductive and also very communicative towards the participants in course of actions. Well, and it also kept them motivated towards giving their best. Well, we have come down to our final topic, and it was here, that is referring back to the organizations. Values was the key during this time. Well, organizations, the mission, vision, and the value an organization keep. I would request Rashid Bhai, I think Perfective and Mail and also the Transcom. Okay, the organization carries the value. The value itself defines a very big mission for every employee, because the organization values are carried by the employees himself or herself. So to achieve the company objectives, the same sort of value they have to carry out towards the employees' working life. So during this pandemic period, however, was it particularly difficult? Well, if it is for one value or two value, I mean, because the company itself has different sets of values. So during this pandemic period, how difficult it was to adhere the value of the organization, and why? Why do you think it was very difficult for them to carry out the value of the organization? And does the value then continue to feature in the long-term roadmap of the organization? What do you think, Rashid Bhai? I would request, yeah, or Kayum Bhai, please. The internet, madam. Yeah, Rashid Bhai.
Zakir bhai,
Yes.
can you repeat once again? I'm just reached at the home and just getting fresh.
Okay. Okay. I was saying that every company has a value. Same sort. I mean, same value goes for your company as well, right? Positive Handmill is a good company. Okay. Well, during this pandemic period, does this value sometimes, I mean, deviated towards the company goal because the company financial roadmap was changed, management system was changed, employees' demand and employees' lifestyle was also changed. So, what do you think? Was any change came up to your value of the organization that really affected the employee's life, or the company's objectives was also aligned with the company's employees' performances, right? So, was it changed during this pandemic period? The company value you carry out?
Okay. Just I want to say that during pandemic situation, definitely every organization faced difficulties, especially in financial side, especially for budget issue. Due to maintain the pandemic health hygiene situation, lot of budget needed to overcome the situation. And though many company to took some initiative, example, salary cut or retrenchment, termination, etc. But as a multinational company, Alhamdulillah, we are very much fine in this situation, and not a single employee retrenched, or there was no salary impact. But business impacted from this situation, especially if I would say that our business is related quite to the run the school college open. So it's impacted, definitely impacted, and we needed to adopt some initiative or some initiative that actually sorry, actually I am going out from your point, which was
No,
related
it's
actually to
you are completely aligned with the point. No problem. But please carry you. Please carry out. Yeah.
but our company is very much concerned about their actually values, goals, or objective, and especially for it's maybe related from employee, or it may be related from business, or it related maybe for or any external situation. They're not compromising. Our company actually is not compromising to lose or to sacrifice their values, or uh, sacrifice their standard uh, for the financial impact.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, understood. Yeah, company did not company did not go for any salary cut and no retrenchment. That was the absolute value the company tried to maintain during this bad period. Yeah. Thank you. Well, we have covered up, our 6 topics discussions, and I think I have made a huge summary. Rita will have some more difficulties to read out the summaries. What do you think? Should I really read out all the summaries I have just write it down, or should I just make a sum up and send you back in a doc format?
Your decision, Mr. Jacka. Maybe in the interest of time, you can send them the summary file later on.
Yeah, I think because we have already crossed 1 hour half,
Yeah,
1 hour and 30 minutes.
yeah, that's
So
right.
I'll just sum up all the discussions and send it to you, and send all the participants as well, Kayum Bhai, Rashid Bhai, and also Anis Bhai. Thank you very much. It was a
Can we
wonderful
take a
session
quick
though.
picture before we close?
Yeah, I think we must take a picture. Yeah.
Everybody has to show their face. How
Yeah.
about the
Rashid Bhai, can you please
Mr.
come
Jacka,
show up your
please
face?
take a picture, please. Mr. Kayo, Mr. Rashadu. Ah, very good.
Great.
Oh.
Hi, Rashid Bhai. Hi.
Rita, basically, yeah, I just am beside my Uber motor,
No
so you
problem.
know the situation. It would be tough for me.
No problem.
And I just reached at my home.
Okay.
Okay. So let me take a good picture. Can you please smile and great smile? 1, 2, 3.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for joining in. And it has been a very good start with FMCG HR Society with AsiaHR in Bangladesh. And I really hope and looking forward to have a very strategic partnership long ahead. And we have a very good plan. I will discuss later on with Rashid Bhai, Kayum Bhai, Anis Bhai, and also Tafsir Bhai in due course of time. Rita, could you just say
Thank
something?
Bye.
As a closing note for 1 minute, finally.
And Kayum Bhai, it was a wonderful session.
So thank you very much, Rita. Thank you so much from my side and also from the Bangladesh and also Bangladesh FMCG HR Society for your tremendous effort. And I would say I definitely will love to see your this smiling face ever again and again because of you. You have the energy that I really can feel because of I find you every time, in everywhere, in every moment, you're smiling face. That really makes me
Exactly.
too good to be motivated and energetic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's truly unbelievable, Rita. So I truly am actually saying that please keep that smile in every time, every moment for all of us. So thank you very much. Thank you, Jakir Bhai,
Thank
for
you.
your
Thank you.
good
My pleasure.
initiative.
Thank you.
And Ani,
Again. Thank you, Mr. Rashidul, Mr. Andes, and Mr. Of course,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
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 bye
Bye.
bye. Ani.